So, as we all know, the Concord ships have been buffed. And honestly, that's one thing I did not entirely expect, because when I tested all of them out for the first time, I was under the impression that they were very strong already. Well, now after the recent update, the Concord ships are even better. And well, I'll be taking a look at the Pacifier again. This is the ship it's my own ship. I've been using it for exploration and I honestly have been enjoying it a lot. It's definitely surprisingly better than the Astero for the exploration purpose. Now, they have received some extra stats for cannons and obviously bonus on resistance and a bonus on the reduced insurance price. 40% on shield, 40% armor, 33.33% on hull. So we have received an extra 7% increase, which honestly doesn't seem much, but when you apply the build, when you apply the implant, if you can optionally use, yeah, Pacifier is honestly the tankiest frigate in the game at the moment. Now, I have the Pacifier as a armor tank, although you can definitely pull off a shield tank if you like. Again, Concord ships are able to pull off a shield or armor tank without a problem. But in my case, I prefer armor, and armor, as we all know, uses a lot less power grid than the shield. For example, my apologies. The armor repairs is using much less capacitor than the shield booster, while using a little bit more power than the shield booster. Now, when I was building the ship, I wanted to slap the C-type medium armor repair that I used last time, and at first I was confused. Why am I unable to put a medium armor repair into the ship? I was able to do that last time, and I initially thought, well, they definitely nerfed the power on the ship. And no, they did not do that. They buffed the power on a lot of other ships, but this is not exactly the problem with this boat. I forgot one very important thing. Since I did change the rigs, I put exploration rigs and they are still installed. And I used to have 3 power grid rigs installed. Now I should have 3 of these emission rigs, I believe, and yeah, there we go. And this is where I realized, oh yeah, rigs, okay. So let me just quickly replace some of the rigs into the tier 2 ancillary power routers, and that's, yeah, there we go. That should give me some more power to play with, and yeah, there we go. Now the medium C-type armor repair is installed. Now this, again, I prefer armor, and I built this ship originally for exploration. I also had combat exploration in mind, and for that a medium armor repair would definitely do the job just fine. So that's why it's built in such a way. It can also do PvP. Of course, has a damage control bonus, so yeah, it's always a nice thing to mention. And the rest of the build on this ship is generally the same. I did not change the rigs, it's about the same as it used to be last time. 1 Nosferatu, a Scrambler and a Web. Although, I have to say, I would have to use a 3rd tier 3 ancillary power grid router in order to use a Scrambler, because right now the power grid is definitely a little bit limited, but yeah. If I had the old rigs, it would definitely work, and it would be basically just right. It will take the whole power will be used. So I'll just have to use a placeholder and that would be a just a long range disruptor. But yeah, this is practically the build that I had last time, and 746 seconds every 3.87. Now you have the repair tactical module. This is the module that I actually go with on the Pacifier. It gives some very nice armor repair, and it also gives a very nice repair time bonus, or should I say cycle time. It is able to repair, I think 1.2 thousand armor was last time, and with the recent update it was increased by a little bit, so I expect around 1.3 1.5 thousand repaired every cycle, every 3 seconds. And the funny thing is that this is a frigate. It doesn't have a lot of armor volume, so you will not have to spend a lot of capacitor to repair. You just leave one short cycle, and the whole thing gets repaired in an instant. This is, I think, the first time we see something like that on a frigate, and I am honestly all in for that. 3.2, 68, 66% across the board. That's actually interesting. So let's undock and let's see the active stats when the modules are being enabled. Now I have the thermocirculation implant. That's the implant that I usually go with for armor tanks. It works. 76%, not bad at all. 3223 armor volume. How much armor do I repair? 1343 every 3.10 seconds. Yeah, that's 2 cycles and I am at full armor. Isn't that just convenient? Well, the 2.1 cycle to be more accurate, but you know, not much of a difference. Basically repairs 45% every cycle. Also has received a bonus on volume, so that's why the overall percentage is a bit changed now, but it repairs more and repairs faster. So yeah, that's just lovely. And you do have the damage control as well. If you like PvP, that's going to be your go-to module, I guess. 95% with the damage control being active, which honestly is really good for a frigate. 105,000 hit points. That's nearly battle cruiser level hit point with the damage control. Not bad at all. Not bad at all for a little frigate like this. Now, what was I doing with the Pacifier for the last couple days? As I said before, I primarily use the solo ship for exploration. It's actually better than the Astero for this purpose, and that is funny because Sister of Eve is all about exploration, all about scanning, and then you have a Concord frigate that just does it better. Now, thankfully, they did not boost the exploration stats on this ship in further. The current stats on this ship are really good for this job, and I've been using it for the past couple days. Honestly, that extra success rate on the Astero, it was like 25 or 27.50%. On this ship it's 37.50 or around that, pretty close to 37%. So you will be opening the boxes much faster, but you know, I think we all know how percentages already work in this game, so those 37 might actually appear to be a gimmick, although not really on a mathematical scale. But if you have, what I'm trying to say, if you have bad luck, the box will still explode. Doesn't matter if you have 37 or 35 or, you know, or 25. But yeah, Number wise, definitely much better success rate at opening the boxes with the Pacifier, which I said before is definitely a little bit weird since these are police ships apparently, but apparently they're able to do exploration for whatever reason. Not that I'm complaining, by the way. I was looking for a interesting new ship that
Autopilot
is
engaged.
able to do exploration, so I'm just, I was just a little bit joking, but
Warp
I
drive
love this
active.
ship. It's really good for this purpose. It is a bit more expensive than the Astero, yeah, definitely true.
Warp
But
drive active.
it's there if you want to use it, of course. So you can still use the Astero if you like. I think the Astero might be the more popular option. Now, one thing that this ship does lack is cargo hold capacity, and I did actually run out of cargo hold very quickly while doing exploration, so I guess that's one of the reasons why you would probably like to use the Astero over the Pacifier, because the Astero gets a cargo hold bonus and you can store a lot more stuff inside of it. That's a big difference and might be a balancing reason. I'm pretty fine with that difference between the ships. After all, the
Autopilot engaged.
cargo hold bonus is definitely very useful for exploration,
Warp
and
drive active.
it gives the Astro that little advantage in overall exploration
Warp drive
compared
active.
to the Pacifier. Combat-wise, I don't really think that I have to go there, because Astero's using drones, and we all know how drones behave nowadays. So weapon-wise, and definitely cargo hold, if you consider cargo hold, the Astero definitely has a advantage over the Pacifier. But honestly, this ship is faster than the Astero. I think this thing warps like a Dramiel. Has a very ridiculous warp speed, very ridiculous warp speed. I think I had like 15 AU per second, which was wild. But yeah, it's really fast in warp. And personally, I think after trying this ship out myself for the last couple weeks that it's been available, if you already have an Astero, I guess if you want to have two exploration ships, you can buy the Pacifier, but I would say success rate wise, yeah, if you need that extra success rate, this will definitely work, but at the same time, the Astero has much larger cargo hold, so might be more important to have larger cargo to store stuff. But that's just me. At the end of the day, you have two ships, two options to choose from, and you can pick which ship you prefer or like more. That's just how I usually go. I mean, you also do have the ordinary frigates, exploration frigates. They also work just fine. I personally prefer the faction ones, because I always felt like they have been performing better. And also much easier to use. If you are an alpha clone, you can fly the Astero or Pacifier just without the skills, but you can fly them.
Warp drive
you cannot
active.
fly the tier 10 exploration frigates without Omega. So yeah, that's one thing that makes these two frigates a little bit more, I guess, interesting. And then there is tank. I don't think I have to go there. The Pacifier, even though the Astero has a 20% bonus on all damage types on resistance, this thing has a bonus on, well, can equip the repair module, so yeah, that's immediately a lot better than what the Astero can do. I mean, you can fully repair this thing like 2 cycles. The Astero might not be able to do that the same way. And you do have 4 low slots, 4 medium slots, well, technically 3 medium slots, but it's, you know, 4 on the display, so it's 4 and 4
Autopilot
high
engaged.
slots. So
Warp drive active.
while it's easy to just say this is better than the other, it's not really that simple. Have to consider every single aspect
drive
of the
active.
ship into the comparison. Now, my Astero didn't really do exploration in a while, since I have the combat scanner on that ship, and obviously I primarily use that to find ships that are running missions, to scan them down and to, you know, to scout them out. So that's one of the reasons why I needed a secondary ship. I do have a secondary Astero, but I don't really fly it because it doesn't have a good build for, I mean, it has a good build, it's just very cheap, so I don't really use it that often. It was a Astero for null space that I built a long time ago, but never really used, since I didn't really need to use it. After we left the Alliance, we didn't really do a lot of deep null stuff. At least I didn't do. I was actually... It's been a while since I did venture into very deep null. A lot of months have passed since we have been in Alliance, so that's one of the reasons why I don't really use that Astero anymore. After all, I have the better one, and the better one has much better tank. That's why I call it the better one. And there will be a Stratus roam coming up very soon. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Initially, I did plan to use the free time I had to do a bit of exploration and PvP at the same time, but unfortunately my route did take me through the less interesting systems. When I say less interesting systems, usually these systems are empty and pretty quiet, so it ended up being just a exploration run. But I did find one venture that I did not destroy, but that's pretty much the only ship I encountered along the route with the Stratus. But I do carry the build along with the Stratus. That's one of the things. I have a couple builds in the cargo hold of the Stratus, so if I find something, I can easily just change the build and engage the target. A very smart thing. I should have done that a long time ago, but I always kept
Autopilot
forgetting
engaged.
the modules. Now I don't forget, since they're inside of the cargo hold, so I
Warp
can just
drive
dock
active.
and change. We do need those portable stations that you can deploy and basically change your build in space. That's what I would definitely need for the exploration runs, because occasionally I do find a good target, but I don't have the right build, and there is no station in the system. And I can fit one scrammer, but that's not going to be enough nowadays, as we all know. So those mobile depots would be very useful for roaming, and if we do get one, I will definitely buy one. But so far, I mean, as you can see, it opens boxes very quickly, and no issues with opening boxes, at least. So that's how I use the Pacifier, by the way. Last time I did the combat part, and I did want to do a exploration part with the Pacifier. Actually, I did the PvE and PvP part last time when I did fly the Pacifier. Today I wanted to do this because this is basically what I initially wanted to do with this ship, and I am personally pretty happy with the results so far. But do tell me what you think about the Concord ship changes. It was very unexpected, but yeah, they did buff them. And well, with that being said, that will be it for today. Again, tell me what you think about the Concord buff. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, as always.
Warp drive
I'll
active.
see you next time.